Hey everybody, Andy Kvernen here with another Cornerstone Connection Daily Devotional. This past weekend, our family traveled to the Appleton area for a basketball tournament, and on Friday night, we had two basketball games, and we went out to some dinner, and we were tired, and we were ready to go to the hotel that we had rented, and we got there, and it was late. It was after 10 o'clock. That's late for the Kvernens, and we checked in, and I tell you, it was nice that there were beds made, that there was an air conditioning we could turn on. It was a hot night, and we could go to sleep. And I tell you what, being in a hotel after a long day is rest for weary souls. And being in a hotel reminds me of one aspect of what it means to be a Christian. Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Part of what God invites us into in relationship with Himself is rest. God invites us into rest with Him, and that's a good thing. But as I think about that, this idea that maybe a church, the Christian community can be a hospital or a hotel for weary souls, something comes into conflict in my mind, and my little slip of the tongue there gives it away. Because I've heard this phrase, and I've even used it recently here at Cornerstone, that a church ought not be a hospital or a hotel, but it ought to be a hospital. And a church ought not be a hotel, but a hospital. And I was reflecting on that. You know, certainly this idea comes from Mark chapter 2, where Jesus is interacting with tax collectors. He calls Levi, a tax collector, to follow him. And the religious elite, the establishment there, get wind of this. They see what's going on, and they come down on Jesus for what he's doing. And he utters this famous phrase in response. He says, on hearing this, Mark 2:17, Jesus said to them, "It's not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. I've not come to call the righteous, but sinners." Of course, the church ought to be a hospital. We need hospitals. And the church must be a place where those who are struggling, those who are caught in sin, those who are far from God, can come and be introduced to who Jesus is, and be introduced to a remedy to the problems they're trying to solve through other means, that they can be introduced to the gospel and have an opportunity to respond. Jesus said, "I've not come for those who are healthy, but for sinners." So absolutely, the church is a hospital, but also the church is a hotel. It's a place where God's people can come and rest with Jesus. And sometimes I think what happens in the Christian life is we try to make these bold sort of black and white statements. The church is this or it is this, but it can't be anything in between. Well, I want to challenge our thinking today. Maybe you're at home and you're thinking, you know what, I know Jesus and I understand that I'm a sinner, but I'm weary and I'm tired. I know I've been forgiven. I know I've received grace, but I need a renewed experience of that. Maybe for you, your relationship with Jesus today could be a hotel moment where at the end of a weary day, you simply lay down and you rest with Jesus, and you acknowledge His presence with you, and you thank Him that He is the God who gives rest to weary souls. But maybe today you're caught in sin, and you're lost, and you're afraid that if you go to God, He's going to reject you. Be reminded that God is a God who is a God of healing, and a God who sent His Son precisely to bring healing to you, to save you up out of your sin. And so heed Jesus' words if that's you today. It's not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. I've not come to call the righteous, but sinners. If you fall into that sinner category, which all of us do, of course, in varying ways here, but if you are in that category and you've not yet put your faith in Jesus, know that there's a hospital there for you. And as you trust the good doctor, our Savior Jesus Christ, with your soul, you can be saved. You can be forgiven. God bless you, friends, and let's keep coming to Jesus, whether it be in a hotel or a hospital, and let's invite Him to do His work in us today. God bless.